Thank you very much, Riv. What's up, guys? Joined by Pobelter and Crepo, now of Evil Geniuses. Guys, congrats on the win. I got to say, the game ended really interestingly. Pentakill on Fountain, a good way to close out a game. What did you guys think about that one?
Johnny was actually like so overwhelmed by it that normally he would be sitting here. We asked him, but he wasn't feeling too well. So I just decided to replace him for now.
Well, we wanted him up here, but yes, he said he was feeling ill. I want to take a look at another Pentakill, though, because it seemed a little... Let's look. And maybe have you guys walk us through how awesome this Pentakill was.
I didn't even notice the Pentakill was going on.
Yeah, he got a few crits on the Nexus or something. Let's take another look at this. Roll this order.
All right, Pope, what's going on?
All right, we just pushed the turret. I went for the flash route, but she got the jump off. Inox KLLs me right here, I think, when I start backing out. So that's a little bit of miscommunication. But right now, we're basically just so fed that we're just tearing through their entire team. And then the resets start to happen, and yep, triple. And then I didn't even realize he was going for the penta. I was just tanking it out so he could get the kill for for those fantasy points.
It was insane the amount of damage he did.
I was at the Nexus Tower trying to finish the game. I'm like, guys, why are we diving? And then suddenly I see like a penta on my screen. I'm like, okay, fair enough. That works.
And Pobelter, you're the great enabler right there, suiciding yourself to the Nexus.
Yeah.
For your friend.
I think the real big takeaway is that Scumbag Crepo was trying to end the game and deny the pentakill from his AD carry, so I'm glad.
Come far away.
Yeah.
Focusing on objectives.
Objectives, that's good, that's good. And of course, you guys did a great job this game. In fact, you guys, the objectives were a really big part of this game, actually. You guys got first Dragon, if I recall properly. They lane swapped, actually, which we've not seen almost at all so far in the patch. Talk to me about that.
I was trying to figure out why they would lane swap. I felt like their lanes would be fine against us, and scaling generally was in our favor. The fact that we had managed to pick up that early Drake was really good for us, because if you saw how the game evolved during like the early mid-game, we kind of fell behind. They had so much better early game champions than us, and we just kept losing objectives after objectives. But because we had that one Dragon, and then later a pick on Syndra, that's what kind of kept us in the game. And then, yeah, they overreached a little bit by doing Baron twice, and then, yeah, we came back.
Yeah, the Barons were really interesting, actually. One of our other replays is that first Baron fight, if we can pull that up on the screen, because they kind of go for it, and they're in the fog of war. You guys have to kind of face check into them. But talk to me, Crepo, if you want to do this one, your thought process on checking this Baron.
Well, at this point, like, every time you want to face check, and then you want to get vision out, and every time, like, they started, so you have to fight. So right now, we know they're off it, so we are a little easier. We're just trying to kill the front line. At this point, Renekton dives in very far, but he only has magic resistance, so no armor. So he gets shredded by Altic, and then at that point, like, team is going nuts. Like, Altix gets excited. Everybody's jumping left and right, just trying to chase. And yeah, he just shows up like this game. Once he gets that initial reset, he's so comfortable on Jinx that he just keeps going and going, and he's winning all these fights.
I know you actually came by earlier today and talked to me for a second that 4.10 wasn't necessarily the best for you guys, but you've got one of the best AD carries in the league. Seems to be like that role's been buffed in this patch. Do you still think it's weak for you guys?
Well, I think on any patch, Johnny will perform. I just don't like the way sustain is being shifted from AD carries onto supports, because like they like rushing these like iEdge, or they just don't want to do the Bork every game anymore, or the BT. And then you're stuck with playing champions like Nami more, or just like these save range supports. In 2 weeks, we'll be seeing Sona again.
We saw our game previously, actually.
And they won.
Yeah,
so therefore, Sona 100% win rate so far. I don't know, man.
Nami lost today. You played Morgana. You didn't heal anybody.
Well, I heal myself with my passive.
Come on.
Okay, sorry. It's still a sustained support.
Pobelter, you had the Rise pick. That's actually an old pick of yours from mid lane. Why break it out now, especially against a laner as strong as Syndra?
So we picked it blind because it does pretty well against Yasuo. So that was what we were anticipating them to pick with the Tristana and Braum picks. We thought that they would go for a setup and then go with Gragas and Shyvana top.
I think they actually did, and then just decided like Rise.
Yeah, I think he saw the Rise and then said, no, I'm not going to go for it.
The preemptive counter pick.
But yeah, I realized that Rise is actually still pretty good in mid when Dottie actually has been playing it over in OGN. So I said, hey, I'll check this out. And then Helios was able to get in contact with him and ask him some things. So that's been really helpful.
Wow.
And even though the lane was just like absolutely horrible, I was down like 4 DCS and there was nothing I could do. Later in the game, I just scaled back.
Yeah, and you guys are this really fascinating team to me now because you have so many really young people on that team. Yourself, Altec, and then Crepo, who's still young but 24. And there's a big age difference, especially with Helios. How are you mixing in your personalities? Because you seem like all these kind of older veterans and then a lot of new guys, but it's starting to work. How's the personalities meshing?
How are we mixing?
I don't know. I think we all have really similar personalities. We're easygoing in real life, but we're serious about the game. And so even though we're far apart in age, our personalities are pretty similar, so it doesn't pose much of an issue.
I mean, and if there's any issues, like, we just bring them up. I mean, every team has their own problems at one point, and then you just try to bring them up and fix them. That's the good part about being a veteran. It's like you've had plenty of issues already, so you're used to fixing them and talking about them, and that's just what we try to do.
Sure, I guess you've played with 17-year-olds before anyway in the first place, so
yep.
I guess it makes a bunch of sense. You guys are actually a team of players from 4 countries as well, which is pretty remarkable, and that all seems to work out. I don't have a question, I just wanted to point that out, really. But what I wanted to get back to, actually, was you talked about the fact that you got to listen from Dade, one of like, the best Ryze in the world, about how to play mid lane. And I wanted to ask you, sort of, how many styles do you guys bring in? Because, of course, Helios been playing in Korea for like ever. Crepo, of course, you played for years in Europe as well. Where are all your influences coming from?
I think we just try mainly to learn from other NA LCS teams and watch OGN from time to time, because OGN is like the top competitive league in the world right now. And the NA LCS because we want to learn about our opponents, so it's mainly those two.
Yeah, I don't think my knowledge or my history in Europe is as relevant, Lando. But yeah, like, I mean, I played there like a year ago. By now, the meta has changed so much and so far, and when I was playing there at the end, I wasn't performing too well towards the end of the season, so I don't think we should take from that period of time.
Yeah.
Let's just look at the Koreans. Full facility style, Monocrystal.
I mean, you guys are now 4-9, but with the victory brings you into a 3-way tie, actually. And I remember talking with you guys a little bit previously saying you really need to make a move to distinguish yourself from those teams. But with Complexity also getting the win against Cloud9, how much do you guys actually have to win to distinguish yourselves?
Well, if you look at long term, like short term, you want them to lose and you want to be above them and get that 6th place. But long term, if these bottom teams keep taking games off the big dogs, eventually maybe we'll come to like a 4-way tie for the bottom 4 places, and you can slowly move your way up. Just depends where your ambitions are. Like if you want to get that 6th place or maybe get somewhat lucky and end up 5th or even higher, I think you just have to take it one game at a time.
Well, speaking of taking it one game at a time, you're 3 games behind Cloud9 right now. You play them tomorrow. Of course, they lost to Complexity today. What are you thinking about tomorrow's match?
Go ahead.
Pobelter.
Okay.
What do you
Yeah, Crepo talked enough.
Yep.
We did really well against them last time. Yeah. And wait a second.
Cloud9.
You beat them.
Yeah, we did win.
Yeah.
We did win. So Complexity was able to take them down today. I think that we'll be able to form another similar upset against them. And hopefully that will help close the gap and then start moving us up into that 6th place spot. And then from there, maybe we can look at going even further from there.
Cool. Looks like you guys are doing pretty well. So then one final question then. As you're talking about trying to climb up the ranks, we had a sort of pregame sort of package from you guys talking about kind of your synergy coming together and whatnot. How long until you guys become this top-tier team where you can make the run up the playoffs?
I don't think at this point we can really say, you know, okay, in X number of months we're going to be the best. But
Sure.
I think it's
one
just,
game at a time.
Well,
yeah, one game at a time.
Okay.
We still had plenty of issues this game even. Like there was this period where we were behind again, and yeah, we play a scaling comp, but I felt like we fell a little bit farther behind than we would like to, and we got lucky in the sense that we got a good pick and then some Baron contests, but we could have technically lost this game, so we just need to like fix that and then fix all the rest and then hopefully learn from those Koreans.
We're also going to have a closer look at Pobelter's potential. They're in the show tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. That'll be good.
Tune in tomorrow, guys. But, of course, keep tuning in today because we've got to take one final break before we kick off our last battle of the day for first place between Dignitas and LMQ. Don't go anywhere.